Hello everybody and welcome to another super awesome podcast. Today we are going to talk about something that's kind of fun. We're going to be talking about dead franchises, or you know, our definition of this might differ, which by the way, I'm Mike and I'm with two guests.
I'm Nick.
I'm a guest?
I know, I was thinking, I just called you guys guests. You guys aren't really guests. That was awkward.
And Travis, by the way. Yeah.
If you're gonna say guest, I would imagine you go like, oh, this is Jake and this is Eric or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm a guest that can't even be introduced by the host.
That's awkward.
How dare he?
Oopsie.
It's cool. It's cool. I see where I am.
I didn't vote for him.
But yeah, so we're talking about dead franchises. I guess we all have different definitions. The way that I'm thinking about this is games that really haven't come out in a long time. There's a lot of franchises that we probably enjoyed as kids that aren't really out anymore, you know. I don't know if anyone picked it, but like F-Zero is a good example that I think people stick to. Or like Metroid Prime is one that people talked about up until now because they are making a new one. So games that haven't been out for a while. And so we all have two. It's kind of the usual style we have where all of us have two different ideas for it. So who wants to start with theirs?
I can start because I feel like I usually never actually start because whenever we do videos like this, I always have just kind of more of a smartass ending, and we always want to stay that for end. But one game that I really enjoyed playing as a kid, I had on my PS2, was the Sly Cooper series. And it hasn't. It's been a couple of years since they've released it, and I know they also don't plan on having one released anytime soon. So, especially with like the Crash Bandicoot coming out with like the trilogy, I think it would just be really cool to have them come out with something, because like I never really played the first one. I played a little bit of the second one, and I played the crap out of the third one. So like, I know I would love to get my hands on, like, what the first one was like, and, like, replay the second one, because I do not really remember that, and then the third one I could really just play the crap out of right now. But, so, like, if they did something like what Crash did, and kind of, like, you know, remaster it, and then, like, add a little something to it, or, even better, actually coming out with a whole new game in general, would be awesome. But, you know, it seems to be that the trend these days is you kind of do a remastered thing and see how the public takes it, and then you make your new creative ideas.
That would be a good one to do it for. Well, it's funny because they, like you said, they just did that for Crash Bandicoot. A litlittle bit ago, they did that for Jak and Daxter, and they did one for Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, the remastered one.
Yeah, so Sly Cooper would be next. That and Spyro the Dragon, I think, are two big ones that are due for some sort of HD remake or new version. I don't know if someone picks Spyro, I shouldn't spoil, but that's another one too. That
remake or remaster or something like that. It's the time. If it's gonna happen, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sonic remastered.
Sonic was not remastered. It was Sonic Mania. It's a different game, Travis. Come on.
Basically remastered.
But
it's not remastered, man. Trust me. You got to play it. It's so good.
But
it's so good.
I get the idea with Sonic Mania is like a lot of games are going back to their roots. I mean, we've talked about it 3 videos in a row now, but like Assassin's Creed Origins and Call of Duty World War II, we're gonna keep bringing it up. A lot of games are doing that where they're going back to that original style. So
it's because it's exciting.
Because it works.
Yeah, retro.
It works.
But
yeah, no, it's But no, so no, I agree with you. I mean, like I've seen people do like the Jak and Daxter and stuff like that, and I think it'd be cool for Sly Cooper to get the same treatment as that.
All right, so
Mike, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll do mine. So the first one that I want to talk about a little bit, it's one that I'm not too passionate about because there's plenty of games out for it, but it's the Soul Calibur series. I have been waiting for Soul Calibur 6 for so long, and I've pretty much given up hope. I don't even think it's ever going to happen. It would be cool. Well, the problem is they broke that game. They stopped caring about it. Soul Calibur 5 was fun, but it wasn't too great. And then I think, did we ever make the freemium video?
We did not.
No.
Okay, because I remember if we did, I wanted to talk about something called Soul Calibur Lost Swords, which is a free-to-play game where you do online matches, but they limit you. So they say you have like 5 matches every hour, unless you want to pay money for more, you know? It's that kind of bullcrap. And so
I don't like it.
Yeah, you could tell they totally started money like milking, and it sucked. And like that kind of made me feel like, yeah, this franchise is going down the drain. And it kind of started that way when they made Broken Destiny for the PSP and Soul Calibur Legends for the Wii. where like they totally started deviating from the fighting game that it started out as, because they wanted to branch out too much, you know? And it was totally a money-grubbing move, I feel like. There was no reason to make it like these other styles. And it's been quiet. It's been probably, at this point, I'll put up the exact year number, because I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think it's been about 10 years since Soul Calibur 5 came out. It's been far too long, is the honest answer.
Well, I will also say this too, because like if we're talking about games that actually get away with deviating for something like that, it has to be like a damn big like game dynasty at that point. Like Sonic is able to do that with like Mean Bean Machine and like with and Sonic Fighters and all that stuff. Mario's able to do it with like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis. Even things that like Legend of Zelda, you're even able to do like Link's crossbow training. It's got to be a big franchise to be able to get away with that, and I'm not sure Soul Calibur was big enough to do it. Right.
Well, and Link's crossbow training was an exception because that also like came out like almost like to supplement Twilight Princess, you know. Whereas like Soul Calibur Legends felt like it just came out just as the next game, you know. It felt like that game took away from what could have been like the next Soul Calibur game, and I don't like that. I don't like that move at all. So it feels like I don't think they did, but it feels like they almost try to kill their own franchise in that way, which is sad because it's one of my favorite fighting franchises. So
it's fun. It's fun as heck.
Yeah, it's so great. I just bought Soul Calibur 3, and I've been loving that. So like they're all so much fun, and it makes me sad, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I got you. So I guess I'll sorry about that, Mike. So I guess I'll just start with the Dead franchise. I'm just gonna start with this one, and I'm literally going to talk about it for maybe 20 seconds. But I'm going to say Chrono, as in like Chrono Trigger. Ooh. People rave about that being like the best RPG of all time. There's been like nothing else besides it. What was it? There's like Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and that might have been a prequel. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But nothing out. I feel like Chrono was such like with the success that it had, I feel like it probably could have done more. And I never looked into it, but there's probably a reason why I never did. But besides that, I think that shouldn't have been a franchise that stopped at that point. That probably could have gained momentum and kept going for probably a little while longer. So, so I guess, okay, sorry, I'm going to be cheating with this one too, because another one that I want to see, because I'm also playing this game at the same time, is Golden Sun. Golden Sun should not have stopped, I don't think, where it did. I think Golden Sun should have more games than just 3.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say about it.
Well, the problem with those types of games is, like, I feel like not only did those franchises sort of die, but those style of games kind of died. Like, because Secret of Mana I would throw in there. Obviously, it never really had, like, a series. But just those games as a whole, like, they were all kind of together in my head as that style, you know, of RPG that just never really carried on past that era, which is sad because it's so much fun. I guess that style of game doesn't really fit with the modern style of game. It's hard to, like, remake that without making it too classic. And I think then the fear is, you know, a lot of modern gamers wouldn't buy it and it just wouldn't sell well, which is, you know, sad. But so, you know, a lot of franchises just die because they just can't age as well, which is sad. But
yeah, which is really sad. I mean, I just wanted to touch on that really fast because I was just like, oh, because that's like exactly like this other game that I'm playing. But yeah, no, Chrono, I think would be cool to see more iterations of it. But I mean, I don't know, with all these going back to their roots, it might have a possibility to happen. At least maybe an indie developer might go for something similar. And I mean, I feel like I would probably seek out that game at that point. Yeah. But yeah, so either way, that's the one. I do have a bigger one that I want to talk about more for the next one. So who wants to go next?
You want to start back up at the top and go with Travis?
Sure.
Okay.
So the other game that I had in mind is actually a game that we've played, me and you, Nick, is the Burnout series.
That's a good one.
Right?
That's a really good one.
Because, like, I enjoy racing games, but I've observed that if it's an actual racing game, I suck at them. Whereas, like Mario Kart and Burnout, where I can cause mass havoc, and as long as I can kill everything else, I can still win.
Dude, if they made a Burnout nowadays, I'm just hoping they wouldn't pile it up with DLC, because that's an EA game.
They would.
You know.
Whatever.
They would pile Burnout up with so much DLC.
But I mean, maybe EA learned their lesson from Battlefront and will not do it because Battlefront 2 seems to be pretty legit so far.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Crossing fingers here, knock on wood, knock knock.
Oh, all the DLC it comes with the game or whatnot. Oh, so why don't you just include it in the game? Why does it have to be DLC?
Because they haven't finished developing it. Because that's another trend of today. They don't actually finish it.
They have to keep them interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what Pat's told me. He's just like, oh yeah, it gets me to keep playing the games when they release like updates and whatnot for that. I'm just like, I would rather it not be like that. But hey, it's just a different kind of gamer at that point.
There's another podcast idea.
Yeah.
We're just racking them up today.
I mean, as long as
Travis,
it's not extra charge, I don't see the issue with it. If it's extra charge, it kind of gets really annoying. But
yeah. So what else did you want to say about Burnout though, Travis? Sorry,
just because because Burnout was like a nice middle ground between the havoc of Mario Kart, where you just have your boost and you smash into things, and then it also had the really cool looking cars, which no offense to Mario Kart, doesn't exactly have.
You can have a Mercedes in that.
Yeah, it's true.
A Mercedes, which sucks. I mean,
So weird.
You're right.
when you have that or a shoe, and the shoe is the better option, it's like it's not actually a Mercedes,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's funny.
I've gotten way too much enjoyment out of saying that I'm a villager in a shoe.
I know.
That Mike probably wanted to kill me after one time saying it.
No.
Well, I love how you originally picked that as just like a troll move, and now it's just your thing because you've done it so many times.
Dude, I got used to it. I got used to the mechanics. And I started to figure out how to boost jump too, but that's a different story. But yeah, no, it's so fun.
That's funny.
Yeah, so kind of like what I mean, Mike. Very generally, it was just like F-Zero would be cool because I feel like so many of the racing games, they're so similar because they're just so highly detailed and so precise in their turning and all that, which is great. Don't get me wrong, that's great for a racing game. But so many of them, if I played Forza Motorsport versus a different kind of racing game, I don't see the difference in it. Whereas Burnout, you had your boost, and then you freaking made the other racers flip over the railing into the lake. I felt the difference there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Causing mass giant traffic jam that costs millions of dollars to repair was so fun.
Exactly.
It is very satisfying.
We just need good family value games like that again.
Absolutely.
You cannot twist that in a bad way, obviously.
No, explosions are great. Quote me on that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Travis 2017. Explosions are great.
We got that.
Okay, Mike, do you want to finish it up, or do you want me to go with my next one?
I'll do mine and let you wrap it up. So,
okay.
Mine, the one that I'm a little bit more emotionally attached to, is Harvest Moon, because I am sure this is another one that is probably never going to come back. Stardew Valley pretty much ran Harvest Moon out of the gutter. They're done.
That game does look cool.
Stardew Valley is just, Harvest Moon has ruined themselves, kind of the way that I was talking about with Soul Calibur, where Tree of Happiness, stupid. Sunshine Island, stupid. Then they made 3 puzzle games, which you would probably like, but it's stupid because they didn't make Harvest Moon games. They just made puzzle games, which is dumb. It's
okay
like if Pokemon stopped releasing Pokemon and just released Puzzle League, and that was it. It's
honestly, I'd be okay with that, but everybody else would be pissed.
I mean, it'd be cool for a bit, but then it's but I want, the normal games too. That would be nice.
Yeah.
And then they made that.
It's got to be a side game.
Right. Well, because then they made the Rune Factory stuff, which was the same, but it was more combat based. So it was it defeats the purpose of Harvest Moon if you have to fight bad guys.
Combat based Harvest Moon.
Yeah, it's
that should not ever be a thing.
I think it was even called a fantasy based Harvest Moon, which was so stupid.
A cross between Final Fantasy and Harvest Moon.
Well, so now you can hit more than just your wife with a hammer.
Yeah, there you go. See, your hammer's useful as a weapon now. It's better than just domestic violence. So maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. That's funny. No, but that's the problem. Is so they added all this stuff, and it just stopped becoming fun. And then games like Stardew Valley came out that just sort of ran Harvest Moon out. And as fun as Stardew Valley is, it's not the same. Harvest Moon has its special music. It has the special characters, and the way that it runs itself feels different than Stardew Valley. But I just don't think Harvest Moon is gonna do anything anymore because it ruined itself and then it got ran out of there. And so they haven't made a console game in forever. Nothing was out for the Wii U, and nothing's announced for the Switch. So it's been since the Wii. So it's it's dead, and it's sad.
Do you know who developed the Harvest Moon games?
Natsumi.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know them, so never mind.
And it was a huge company back in the GameCube days for these Harvest Moon games, and then they didn't care anymore. I don't even know if they're still in business, to be honest. I'd be surprised because Harvest Moon was their franchise until they threw it away.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. That sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know
that
what?
does sound like it'd be a good one to come back.
Yeah. Well, this video put me in a bad mood.
Sorry about that. Well, then I will finish off. You don't have to focus on it too much because I actually want to talk about Conker, as in Conker's Bad Fur Day.
That's a good one.
And as in, everybody knows how much or how good Rare was at developing games for the N64. If we're talking like Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, all of those games, like, they were so good. And one of them, obviously, that was there with Rare too, was Conker's Bad Fur Day. But a game like that started off, that was supposed to be such like an adorable game, that was just so risky, and like it was rated M for a reason. Like, it was for mature audiences. It was not for people to like,
That game's
not for
hilarious,
younger
though.
audiences to see. Yeah, it's hilarious. And like with a whole bunch of games like that, I mean, you see games are like rated M for mature, but none of it goes like in that style of basically like saying, screw this, we're gonna break the fourth wall, we're going to make all this cartoonish stuff, and like it's going to be like for a mature audience, but it's not going to be at the point where it's just like you'd ever feel like you're, I don't know, say losing morality points or something like that. It's not going to be like in, say, like we're like the video game violence podcast we were talking about. It's not like you're going to be like that's just as messed up. Like there's something like The Great Mighty Pooh where it's like an opera boss fight and you're laughing your ass off while you're doing it.
Right.
I would just love to see a game like Conker. I mean, Rare's basically like Microsoft just put Rare out of business at that point. Like, Rare's not really doing anything nowadays. But like, if Rare ever came back, I would love to see another Conker game. Which, yeah, I just think that would be so cool to see.
It's true. Like you say, Conker specifically, but I think,
yeah.
Rare as a whole, the old Rare is the dead franchise that we all need to come back. Because
yeah, just the company Rare just coming back making games is just what we need.
Yeah, because
that would just be amazing.
Yeah, because you listed so many franchises that need to come back, like Perfect Dark or Banjo-Kazooie.
Perfect Dark is another one.
Like so many franchises that could use another game that will never happen because Microsoft doesn't care. Stupid.
And it's really sad that they don't care, but you know what? Whatever. I mean, that could be a different podcast. Screw Microsoft for killing Rare.
Yeah, if you ever like play all the games on Rare Replay, you will learn how many franchises Microsoft killed. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's the graveyard of what Microsoft decided to not keep alive. It's like, thanks.
Yeah, and Conker would have been an awesome thing to keep alive. It might have been having to, like, okay, it was a lot looser, I think, of regulations back then with video games, so it might have to be toned down a bit. But I think a game like Conker would be awesome to see. I think that would be cool.
Did you see E3 for the Project Spark thing? John Tron made a video, so you might have seen that. When, like, Conker was like, they introduced Conker on the screen and everyone thinks it's a new Conker game. And then he's like, well, I haven't had a game in a long time. Guess we got to make our own. And then it was just like a create your own level type game that had nothing really to do with Conker. And they totally just used him to like sell it. And it was the biggest troll thing ever. Like, we're gonna make a Conker game. Just kidding. And it's like, wow. Microsoft.
Yeah, that pisses me off. That's not cool.
Rare Conker Maker.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Or that's what they tried to make. It was the dumbest level maker thing ever. It was
no, a game like Conker, you got to have like a developers there to put some surprises and funny things in there. You can't put
like getting drunk and then putting out fires with your own urine.
Yeah. That's hysterical. Like, I'm not even joking. I didn't play much of Conker, but just playing it for that part, I was just like, this should go on longer.
Yeah.
It needs to go on longer.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Hopefully that ends on a more, like, it might be on a sad note, but maybe more on a hopeful note, just because if there was a game like that, I feel like it'd be fun. Maybe create a different character, but just Rare in general. Please come back. Save us.
Yeah, do something, guys, please.
Yes.
There's a lot of franchises that need to come back, I just realized.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Because, like, now it's, like, all the same games. Like, Call of Duty is every year. Halo's been coming out, like, every other year. Because they refuse to let it drop when it should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sports games will always be the, it's... I'm trying to think of the other ones. Battlefield?
Yeah, that one
Well,
too.
Battlefield kind of got a little different, but yeah, it's kind of repetitive.
Tom Clancy will always come out with a new game that'll be hot for a year.
Mm-hmm.
At least they do it in a different style, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Huh.
Well, I guess I've said what I've wanted to for that, because again, I would love to see mainly Conker come back, but that's just me.
For sure. Well,
so
yeah, I think
these games that were unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that pretty much summarizes this video for us. So if you guys have dead franchises that you would like to see come back that are, you know, either the same or different from ours, let us know in the comments below, because we know there are way too many franchises that are awesome that are gone now.
I want the Matt franchise to come back. Bring Matt back. Bring Matt back.
On that note, I'm going to leave.
Yeah, okay, I'm gone. Bye.